I'm here with Anna Junium, who's 96 years young. She was born in 1921 to a large Irish Catholic family in a cold water tenement in downtown Jersey City. Woodrow Wilson was the president, silent movies were all the rage, and Babe Ruth was just entering his prime. Anna has seen a lot in her near century in New Jersey, and she has graciously agreed to tell us some of her story. Anna, these days there is so much racial and ethnic polarization. But Jersey City was just as diverse when you were young. What was it like?
I was born on 16th Street. I think it was 179. And we had no racial troubles. There was Irish, there was Polish, there was Jewish, Maxi's candy store. When you get up in the morning, there'd be everybody. He had the old-fashioned bag of rolls that I can't get anymore. I love them. There'd be 6 rolls in a bag, 6 rolls for 15 cents. And each kid had his name on the bag. We got the bag. And then Romeo had the butcher shop. He'd give you a frankfurter while you were waiting, or the end of the bologna. And then we had a Jewish delicatessen. When you go down, she'd always say, help yourself. You should stick yourself in a barrel and pick out a penny to do a depression. Everybody was poor, you didn't know it, you know. Everybody took care of each other. But Grandma, they used to call her in because all the kids used to come to her. She fed them. She kept them overnight. We never knew what kid was going to be with us.
Your mother's parents came here from Ireland. What brought them to America?
My grandmother and grandfather were both in Ireland in County Kerry. Grandma came over when she was 16. And Grandma and Grandpa, they snuck him under the hull of the ship because he was up in the hills shooting the British. Oh. They had to get him out.
You experienced tragedy when you were young. What was that like, and what memories do you have from when you were a little girl?
My family was opened up on Grove Street. My mother worked for Armour's packing company, and she died when I was 11 and my sister was 9. And my uncles, my grandmother and grandfather took over. And when we went to school, we didn't have any lunch program, and you never know what kid would be with us at lunchtime. They used to come to Grandma's house, and we all went home. And then if you didn't go home, the neighbors took us in. But that's why I like tomato soup today. Grandma had tomato soup. That was when we couldn't have meat on a Friday. But I was growing up down St. Lucy's. The nuns, they were very good. Especially when my mother died, they all came over. And then even when I had to go to court, my father had a custody set. The nuns, I was 11 when my mother died. Lucy was 9. And my father came over for a custody battle. And the nuns, they told we had to go to court. And it was in the newspapers. And the nuns told the kids, don't ask him any questions, leave them. And my grandfather, he helped dug the Holland Tunnel. He was one of the men that dug the Holland Tunnel. I think after I was born, because I remember a lot of the people had to move out of their houses that were digging. And one boy in my class, George Stefano, he was a tunnel cop. And there was another policeman there. His name was Topsy Walker. And when you were a teenager, when you saw the good-looking cop, you just stayed and talked to them all the time. The good-looking cop, they stood on each corner. But you never had to be afraid of walking home. They were always there. They came from the Port Authority. But the Jersey City cops, you could walk overnight. There was always a policeman walking the beat. They were out. They were, we didn't have patrol cars. They were on their feet walking. In the Depression, it was kind of rough, but thank God we were never hungry. But the houses didn't have heat. You had to make your own heat. And the house we lived in, it was freezing. That's why I'm always cold. The houses didn't have bathtubs. They called them tenement houses. And you had a tub in the kitchen. And the men used to take the middle house, and you'd take a bath every Saturday night. And when we were in school, they had a play, and the Father Heron, the priest, his brother used to play Santa Claus, and every kid in class got a big bag of hard candy. And I remember we were outside one night, it was Friday night, sitting across the street on a newspaper stand, and it was about maybe 10 o'clock, and Father Heron used to walk around the neighborhood, the priest, and he said, what are you kids doing here out at night? And we said, we're waiting for the donut man. He said, what do you mean, donut man? Across the street was the luncheonette, or the Woolies. And we said, he used to deliver the pastry. So now when you get a box of donuts, was a 6 something, well, they were $1 then. And he says, okay. So the donut man came, and we all got a box. So she said, let me see them. So he got a box too. And the man didn't want to pay for me. He said, no, if the kids pay for theirs, he said, I pay for mine too. But he'd be out every Friday night with us with the donuts.
From what I understand, you didn't have video games. What on earth did kids do?
When we went to the movies, every Sunday, the movies was, Grandma gave us dinner before 1 o'clock. You'd get the bus, and if you get there before 1 o'clock, it was only a quarter. And everybody pushed into the bus to get there before 1 o'clock. But we used to have, on the radio was Jack Armstrong, Little Orphan Annie, Just Plain Bill, the Cats and Drama Kids. That's what we had.
We kids today love our junk food. What did you and your friends used to snack on?
Hostess Cupcakes was in Hoboken. And then when the trucks used to come in with the sale stuff, that they couldn't sell in the store.
Yeah.
They'd put all the stuff on a platform. And us kids, you'd bring a bag. If it was a small bag or a big bag, it was a quarter. Anything there you could have. We used to get there early. Lucy used to go with Junium, her girlfriend. They'd get there early because they used to like the jelly roll. And my uncle used to like the jelly roll. But he never knew it was stale. He thought it was fresh. We'd get jelly rolled. We'd get cupcakes. You'd get apple. You'd get pie. You'd get bread. Anything they had for a quarter. But we got smart. We used to bring a big bag. And the fellow would say, fill up, kids, fill up.
Jersey City had a legendary political boss back then, Mayor Frank Hague. What can you tell us about him?
And then Mayor Hague, he was there. But one thing about him, I know his politics were good and bad, but he took care of the poor and he took care of the sick. Every Thanksgiving Eve, the flat truck would come in the neighborhood and there'd be bushels of fruit. There'd be a Thanksgiving dinner for every family. And then in the fall, you'd get a bag of coal. And then for Christmas, you get the same thing. And then when we had the Depression, he went to Roosevelt and he built the Margaret Hague Hospital, the medical center, and then the Pollock Hospital was for the infectious diseases, but then later was senior citizens. But if you had money, you went to the hospital, you paid. If you didn't, you didn't pay. It was one good thing. As far as politics, I don't know. But when I was growing up, they didn't have the machines. They had the paper ballots, and they knew who you were voting for. But I think in 1928, when Al Smith was running, we went to bed, and the next we woke up and the house was on fire. I don't know whether somebody we had a 3-story house. I don't know if somebody in our family or the family upstairs didn't vote right. But there was a fire in the hallway, and us kids couldn't get out. We had to go up on the roof.
When you were 16, you moved into a new neighborhood in Jersey City.
So he got the house, and he got it painted, and he went out and he said to my aunt, go and get all furniture. He furnished the whole house, and we left all the old furniture downtown. What we didn't live was a pity. We left the old Victrola, everything. And then he took her for a ride one Sunday afternoon. She said, where are we going? He said, you're going to visit a friend of mine. So she's okay. So he went in and he opened the door and she went in. He said, this is a nice house. Who's your friend? He says, you are. This is your house. Oh, glory be to God, she said. So she says, okay, take my piano and take my trunk. And he moved her up there. She liked it.
Your uncle sure was generous. Is there anything else you can tell us about him?
Gambling was illegal. One of the senators in Washington got a bug, I guess, and he started investigating Bergen County. My uncle, he run the biggest gambling in Bergen County. You walked in, they wine you and dine you, and then you gambled. You had the best of everything. But then, of course, they had to close down, and he got a vacation for 2.5 years in Trenton College. I used to go once a month to see him. The judge and the politicians, they double-crossed. There was a couple of them. Senator Guarini, his uncle too. But he got a vacation too. Well, when he came home before he got married, I used to help him count the money. And I knew who owed and who lost. And he told me one time, he said, you almost had a mean coat. I said, what? Some movie actress took her mean coat and she gambled it away when she was going home. He put the coat on her. He said, lady, do me a favor, don't come back.
You were in your late teens when World War II started and 20 when the U.S. entered. What was that like?
My cousin lived with us, John. His number was in, and he was drafted, and he was sent to Fort Dix first. And then after that, he went over to Germany. They brought him all the way to the East Coast, and then brought him back, and he went to Germany. And he got shot in the arm. He was driving one of the officers up in the hills, and the sniper shot him. He got a rifle heart. But he came back, thank God. But your relation, you couldn't get butter, you got margarine, you couldn't get bananas, and you couldn't get toilet paper. And my uncle was working over there in Hoboken in one of the places, and he used to bring the toilet paper home for us. And you got what they call a book of stamps, rations. Meat was rations. Each book in the family got a book of stamps. And then when that book was over, you didn't get no meat for the week. So I had spam. I had spam omelets. I had baked spam. I had all kinds of spam. You could get spam. And we were meat eaters, and the meat went fast. And that's all. At least you could get spam. I used to bake it with pineapple for them. I'd chop it up for omelets. I'd fry it with eggs. Yeah, you could get that stuff, but the real good stuff you couldn't get, like the butter. Couldn't get butter, used margarine. Oh, it was awful.
Thanks for giving me the opportunity to interview you and letting Generation Z hear what it was like living in one corner of the Garden State almost 100 years ago. Any last words of wisdom for us?
It was a nice neighborhood, but Hillary Clinton was like, it takes a neighborhood to raise a child.